Welcome back to 100% Chelsea. My name is Brandon. Welcome back to a different type of video today. You usually are used to seeing me from going on a bit of a rant on this channel and also doing a couple of daily transfer videos. Well, today we're going to change it up a bit. Today we're going to be doing a video that combines the present Chelsea team with previous Chelsea players. Like I said, this is my team of combining players, so it's my opinion, so some of you may not agree. If you don't agree, fair enough, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and I'll get back to you on that as well. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So we're going to start off with a legend, an absolute legend, and for me Munich just topped this off for him for his amazing Chelsea career as well, was Petr Cech. Now, a lot of you will probably say, oh, Thibaut. Yeah, Thibaut's an amazing goalkeeper, but he's not quite at legendary status. Well, he's got quite a way to go, in my opinion, to get to legendary status. Petr Cech has done a lot for this club. He stepped in at a point where Cudicini was our best goalkeeper. When he did step in, a lot of people were thinking, this guy's not going to be as good as Cudicini. And because Cudicini was out, Petr Cech had to do a good job. And he did such a good job that he kept our best goalkeeper at the time out of the squad by playing so well that they couldn't drop him. And Petr Cech, from that moment forward, just absolutely flew in his Chelsea career. Is our best goalkeeper that we've ever had. And, you know, fingers crossed that Thibaut can do better than Petr Cech, because you always like to see players overtaking other players and becoming the most successful player at your club. But at the moment, and for a while in my opinion, Petr Cech will always be the best goalkeeper at Chelsea Football Club. It's a shame that we had to let him go to Arsenal. Obviously he's still a very, very good player. Not quite the player he was maybe 5 years ago, but he's still an absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. He's maybe got a year or two left in him at the top flight as well. And he's got to go down as one of the greats in Chelsea Football Club's history, and that's no doubt about that. Petr Cech is my goalkeeper for this team. Moving on to a 3 at the back formation, that's what we're going to play. So the 3 at the back in a modern Chelsea style. First one we're going to go with John Terry, and the second one we're going to go with is Ricardo Carvalho. Those two, either side of the middle defender, in my opinion would be phenomenal. John Terry, Chelsea's best player in history, easy. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's been here for the longest period of time. What can the man not do? He puts his body on the line for the team, and that's a lot of what you don't get nowadays. Defenders are very, very passionate, but they won't play like John Terry did and put his head... I've seen him dive with his head to try and block a shot before. The bloke is just a legend. I remember the Abu Dhabi incident where he chucked his head at the ball trying to win a header when it was a dangerous situation to be in the first place, and Diaby absolutely KO'd him and he can't remember anything about it. But I mean, that just sums up how much of a passionate guy John Terry was, and him alongside Carvalho in that 2005-06 season where we won the league with Mourinho, that partnership was immense. You know, Terry and Carvalho are one of the strongest partnerships in Premier League history, and it was an immense partnership, and I think that if that was brought forward to the current day with some of the players that we are about to say in the squad, it would be an absolutely phenomenal team. The player in the middle of the back 3 I'd put as Marcel Desailly. Again, this player, Desailly, was kind of being pushed out of the squad as I was being born, but the games that I have watched him play in, and you know, the videos I've seen of him, the matches that I've rewatched, he's an absolute tank. He's a leader from the back, just as John Terry was. And he may not be as chuck your head in front of the ball as John Terry, but he was still a very passionate player, and you can't not include someone who wants to play for the team and for the badge. So Desailly, Carvalho and Terry are my back 3, and that to me just sounds like an amazing back 3 as it is already. With obviously Petr Cech in goal, what a wall. We're going to move on to the 2 wing backs now, and I've had to include this guy at right wing back because I wanted to put him at centre back based on his previous season, but obviously it doesn't fit because of the 3 tanks that we've already got there. Cesar Azpilicueta at right wing back for me is just... he is going to be the next Chelsea legend, in my opinion. He's not one to get in a player's face, cause a scene. Like Diego Costa, Costa loves the attention. Azpilicueta doesn't quite. He's such a solid player, and because he's not loud on the pitch and you know, he's not in your face, he's still a leader, but he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. In my opinion, he is the best defender in the league. Hands down, in my opinion. Obviously, my opinion is wrong to some people, but as a Chelsea fan who's watched Azpilicueta grow since he's joined our club, as a right back, as a left back, as a centre back, he is the most versatile player in the league, he's the most solid player in the league, and the most underrated. An absolute talent, and I can't wait to watch him develop even more in the coming years and become that Chelsea legend that he is due to become. And I hope in the next year or two that he does become the captain, because I feel that he's got a lot of leadership on the pitch. So let me know your thoughts on that one as well. Would you like to see Cesar Azpilicueta, aka Dave, as the captain next season? Moving on to the left wing back, we're going to go with Ashley Cole, because we can't not go with Ashley Cole. Probably our best ever left back. I've put him in a left wing back because if he can do a job at left back, he can do a job at left wing back. The bloke loves to get forward. You know, he's that type of player who would get forward with the attack and create something of his own. And that is rare in a left back nowadays who would do that and also get back at the same time. So those are my 5 back players. So my 2 wing backs and my 3 at the centre backs, and then obviously Petr Cech in goal. We're going to move into the 2 centre mids now, and if we have this centre mid right now, I mean, this team to me is getting me excited without even, they're not even playing with each other. Obviously, the first one I'm going to put in is N'Golo Kante. Everyone knows how amazing N'Golo Kante is, and for only £30 million is probably the biggest bargain in the past 5 years. The bloke is a machine. I think if you put him in the midfield by himself, he could do it. He could run the midfield by himself. It's just, I don't understand how a man can run for so long and not tire. It's... how? Is he a robot? Is he charged up before he goes onto the pitch and then charged at half time again? I don't know how he does it. He is an absolutely fantastic player to watch. And okay, maybe he does give the ball away every now and then, but he does win it back. And that is one of the best things about Kante, is he may give the ball away, but he doesn't give up when trying to get it back. Next to him, I'll tell you this now, I was going to put in Claude Makélélé, because imagine putting those two together. Wow. You'd have like Duracell batteries ×2 on a pitch. That should be illegal. But then also I thought about another legend that I wouldn't have included in the squad otherwise, because he wouldn't have fit anywhere else. And that's Frank Lampard. And Frank Lampard is going to go next to Kante, because for a player to score over 200 goals from midfield in his career at Chelsea Football Club is absolutely insane. The bloke is my idol. Like, he's my favourite player to ever play for Chelsea, apart from John Obi Mikel. He's my favourite player to ever play for Chelsea. He would score some absolutely unreal goals. He would... It's the thing that I love most about him is his late runs into the edge of the box, because he knew that, you know, our wingers would always cut the ball back to the edge of the box, because that's either what they'd worked on training or that's what they knew to do. And Lampard knew that. So he timed his run to perfection to get there. And that is something that you can't find in a lot of midfielders nowadays. The bloke's supposed to be setting up goals as well as scoring them, but he has no entitlement to score over 200 goals. That's illegal. That should not be allowed. And I just think that he's an amazing player. Obviously, you hear my passion in my voice when I talk about him. I could go on about Lampard for ages. We're playing like a 3-4-1-2 formation. It's like an unorthodox formation here, but it works. We are now going for the position behind the 2 strikers, and the position behind the strikers it has to be Eden Hazard. He's just a genius. What he does with a football and what he does to teams, he just turns them inside out, and it's a pleasure to watch. And I know a lot of fans that will watch Hazard that are from other teams and will say exactly the same. And it's hard to get that in modern football, because, you know, every team has their fans who are very stubborn. But I think everyone can admit how much of a pleasure it is to watch Eden Hazard play. He turns teams inside out, and he can create chances from absolutely nothing. And that is something that you've got to admire about him. If he does mean what he says in that he wants to become a Chelsea legend like John Terry, then I think that he could be very, very successful at this club. Final two positions, and we're going to go with our two strikers. First one is Didier Drogba. He won us our first Champions League. That's enough to get him in it, to be honest. But his goal scoring record in the Premier League, in the Champions League, in the Cups. He loved the goal against Arsenal. He loved the goal in the final at Wembley. He loved the goal to win us stuff. He's a legend. No doubt about it, he is a legend. And it would have been touching if his final kick was to win us the Champions League and he didn't come back after that. Of course, he came back on loan and he still helped us then. He's probably the best striker we've ever had at the club, alongside whoever's next to him in this team, which you'll find out in a second. But, I mean, you can't really argue with the fact of someone winning a whole team a Champions League trophy, their first ever Champions League trophy, the first London team to win a Champions League trophy. That's right, Arsenal and Tottenham. If there's one thing I thank Mourinho for, it's for bringing Drogba to the club and saying what he said about Drogba. You know, it's similar to what Harry Redknapp said about Lampard, you know. Don't judge Drogba on his price. Don't judge him now. Judge him when he leaves the club. And he left a legend. Harry Redknapp said about Lampard, you know, don't judge him now. Judge him when he retires. And he retired a legend. And it's those moments of brilliance that those individual players would come up with that would just make them unique to everyone else. And it's hard to find a player like that. Like I've been saying a lot of this video, it's hard to be finding a player of that calibre nowadays. Alongside him has got to be none other than Gianfranco Zola. What a player! And I talk about magicians in Hazard. Zola was fantastic. He would score the most outrageous goals that were just not humanly possible. And if you haven't seen some of Zola's fantastic goals, I suggest you go and search them on YouTube now, because they're a joy to watch. You can watch them for hours on end, on repeat. And I just think, again, like, you don't get many players that can do that, and when you do, you need to include them in squads like this. It just shows how much talent that Chelsea have been blessed with in the past. To have them all in one squad and play together would be phenomenal. If they were all around at the same time, we would have been the best club in the world, no doubt about it. So guys, that is my ultimate Chelsea team of the past and present. Please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section down below. Also, let me know your teams and any changes you'd make to my team down in the comments below. I will be going through and replying as I did on my last video on this channel. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, check out 100% Chelsea social media links all down in the description below. Chelsea have got their first official pre-season game tomorrow against Arsenal, so make sure you follow 100% Chelsea on all social media to keep you up to date. Also to keep you up to date with all transfers such as Alvaro Morata, which Louis has been doing recently, I've been seeing. So make sure you follow 100% Chelsea on all social media to keep yourself up to date. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great evening and I'll see you all next time. Peace!